I'm Specialist Elliot Valdez. This week we'll visit the National Training Center in California and learn about two soldiers who put the family into mission, soldier, family, and team. But first, Specialist Michael Cox takes us to Fort Carson, Colorado, where the 3rd Stryker Brigade 1/8th Infantry soldiers welcome former unit veterans.
Soldiers in Alpha Company 1/8 Infantry were visited by the Alpha 1/8 Association. The group is made up of former members of Alpha 1/8. Soldiers talked with the former Alpha Company soldiers and learned what it was like to serve in prior conflicts.
It's crazy how they used to, stay out there for weeks on end and with low food, low ammo, and compared to what we do, it's really not a comparison.
It's an awesome opportunity, mainly because a lot of the guys are from Vietnam. I met a couple from World War II. They didn't really get the homecoming, especially the Vietnam veterans, that they should have gotten. So it's one way that we can show our appreciation to them and show off what we've become.
Soldiers educated the former Alpha members on their equipment and then let them fire some rounds.
I think I educated a few of them on exactly what the Bradley can do. I think they underestimated it a little bit. They didn't get to see the full potential of the movement capabilities of the Bradley.
The prior members of Alpha Company talked about their combat experiences from Vietnam and also learned what it's like to serve in Iraq.
I mean, obviously we could relate to the stories we had, and we can see the differences and things that we had to go through with things that they're going through over in Iraq. You just look at the equipment, it's so much different. I mean, I think they're carrying another 20 pounds more than we had to carry.
These guys, these gentlemen that are out here today with us have made ultimate sacrifices, and the comrades have made sacrifices. They've gone through some of the hardships that some of our soldiers are going through or will go through in our current conflict. And I think it's good for these guys to share stories and just understand that there's people out there that appreciate that.
Despite the difference in the conflicts these men have served in and the advanced technology that today's soldiers work with, some things have not changed.
Well, I think the biggest thing that hasn't changed much is the dedication to what their job is, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, and the whole thing of freedom. I mean, that was the thing that we were pushing and believed in, and I think they do the same.
Former Alpha Company First Sergeant and Medal of Honor recipient David H. McNerney seemed very impressed with the soldiers of Alpha Company.
They seem professional, they seem friendly, they're all experienced, and my war stories, they've heard them before, so I'm not making an impression on them. But they're well-rounded soldiers.
The former members of Alpha Company have a reunion once a year, but on this day there was an Alpha Company union, a union that proves to last a lifetime. Specialist Michael Cox, Fort Carson, Colorado.
I'm with HHD 1BCT. My job is S6 Automations. I'm the Information Assurance Security Officer.
I'm Staff Sergeant Joe Ray Cole. I'm with HHD 1st BCT. I'm the Aerospace Management NCO for the brigade.
We've been married a year and 6 months now.
We've been married a year and 6 months. No way I could change it.
You should have asked him first. I've been at Fort Hood a year.
I've been at Fort Hood for 2 years, if you including the 1 year in Iraq.
I like the area that Fort Hood is in because it's easy to get to other major cities.
It was like a big family. I had a lot of friends here, and we bonded together real good.
Specialist Turner takes us to the desert of California, where the Texas Congressional Party traveled to watch 4th Infantry Division soldiers prepare for Iraq at the National Training Center, or NTC.
An explosion rocks the high desert area as a convoy of 1st Brigade soldiers push through a small, simulated Iraqi village. This is the National Training Center at Fort Irwin, California, where thousands of soldiers come to train before deployment to Iraq. The training is cutting edge and implements factors soldiers can expect to see while deployed. Congressman John Carter from the 31st Congressional District in Texas had the opportunity to view the training firsthand.
We really don't know our Army. We think we know our Army from television or from the movies or whatever. But we're talking about some of the most professional people that I've ever experienced. To watch these young people, intelligent, bright, motivated young people, go through their paces to be the best soldiers that ever ever put on a uniform on the history of this earth. It's pretty impressive.
Congressman Carter says the National Training Center is an asset that must be preserved. The training received is all hands-on. When IEDs go off, soldiers must maintain situational awareness, tending to the wounded while pulling perimeter security. Champion Site Prep owner John Gustanis says this training is invaluable.
This is real. What I've just been seeing here, it could be real from 50 meters out. You wouldn't know it wasn't real if you just walked in here and you didn't realize it. As far as I'm concerned, it could have been real. And these guys are getting some real life experience with it.
Gustanis says this trip was an eye-opener to the intense training that our troops undergo. Chairman of the board of Chasco Constructors, Chaz Glace, says this training was exciting for him to see because this is the closest he has ever been to combat.
So these young men get really trained in what to watch for, what to learn, what signs to watch as they approach maybe a village or a car or whatever. It's a first-class operation, top of the line. I don't think there's any better anywhere.
Glace says he believes in our armed forces and is honored to come out to NTC to view this training firsthand. Reporting for the 4th Infantry Division Public Affairs, I'm Specialist Daniel Turner.
Stay covered, watch 3 o'clock, huh?
The Congressional Party thoroughly enjoyed their trip to the National Training Center. Well, that's our show for this week. Catch us next week and have a safe Labor Day weekend. I'm Specialist Elliot Valdez.